Mike's not even gonna wait. Mike's not even gonna wait until we get live to donate for the first time. $2 from Mr. Money Mike Madness. He said, I heard Neil Diamond on the radio on the way home. That's a good sign, Mike. Hopefully we do things a little bit better today than happened yesterday. Prodigy, you've been in here for a minute. What's going on, my friend? Finished my homework 10 minutes ago for this. Well, then I better have my A game tonight. What's up, QB? Tore something in my... I'm sorry to hear that, QB. Hoping for the best, my man. I'm sorry to hear that happen to you. What's up, Jay? So busy with football? Hey, I get it. Red Sox Digest, how you doing? Wonder Davey, how are ya? Oh, chat. I went swimming this weekend, and I was a maniac in the water. And I am sore today. Anthony gifted 1 membership. Not a ton of people in here. Who's gonna get it? Jay Big Boy, welcome back to the membership club. What's going on, Isaiah? Rusty's, how are you, my friend? Can we get some claps in the chat for Anthony? Welcome in, Anthony. Thank you so much for your donation, man. You always kill it. You are absolutely incredible, my friend. Thank you so much. Money Mike gifting 1 membership. Not to be outdone, Money Mike is here. Everybody knows Mr. Money Mike is here. Thank you so much, Mr. Mike. He gifted a membership to Max Season. Can we get some claps in the chat for Mike as well? Thank you guys so much for the gifted memberships off the rip. We only have a couple of these left for the regular season chat, which is going to be interesting. Besides ITM and name redacted, I'll take it. I'll take third. Thank you, Anthony. What's going on, Logan? Yeah, dude, I am so sore. Like, my whole chest is sore. Getting up and in and out of the pool. Ugh. Mr. Bob Dylan, how are you? Who said I was third? Well, you said besides ITM pod name redacted. I just figured. Plus, though, that's royalty. You know what I mean? When it comes to Red Sox podcasts, that's royalty. Where's my beard? They lost last night. What's up, Milan? You think the Sox still have a chance at the postseasons? I mean, they don't have a 0% chance, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not looking great. Rusty's, welcome to Standing Room. Rusty's, can we get some clap in the chat for our new member, Rusty's? Rusty's, enjoy those emotes, my friends. Whole bunch of fun stuff in there. Thank you so much, Rusty's, for becoming a member of Red Sea Radio. Can you guys hear that when it pops up? I feel like only I can hear that. It drives me insane. I got my headphones in today, chat, so I can listen to the game too, which I like, because now I can listen and talk. I don't have to be watching the screen at all times. I'm on point today, chat. Although I did forget water. I'm gonna have to get water at some point. You have to see these goofy ass shorts I got on. Oh, thank you so much, guys. Good start to the stream. Good start to the stream. I'm nervous, man. Heartbreaking last night, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm at the point now where I'm watching these games just to have a ton of fun. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really watching with any expectations of a postseason or anything like that. So I enjoyed yesterday's game. Good vibes only today. I would love to get a series win against the Rays at Tropicana. Oh man, we awesome. Problem is you're facing Tyler Glasnow, right? And Tyler Glasnow tends to tear you up. Gonna give up a tank in the first? I like it, Rusty's. Went to eat dinner, the Sox took a lead in the 11th, came back, and the game was over. Yeah, that's how it works. How long till Glasnow as a free agent? That's a great question. I have no idea. Let me see. I'd assume he's got a little bit, because I think this is only his 3rd year, if I remember correctly. Yeah, why not just win 15 straight? Let's do it. Interesting first out. He's a free agent 2025. I didn't realize he'd been around for that long. Oh, he was with Pittsburgh first. That's why I got messed up. You know, he led the league in wild pitches in 2020. Interesting. Yeah, we have like no one in the bullpen tonight. Yeah, that's a good outlook, Mike. I like that. 23-0 to end the season? That'd be even better. Imagine. How about those aggressive promotions? I'm all in on it. All in on it. Chris Archer trade? Sounds right, Robbie. I don't remember the exact one. Every trade I feel like is a good trade for the Rays. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right about the Chris Archer trade. For people who don't know the Northeast, why do people talk trash vacationing at the Cape? Is it like a rich person thing? Is it overhyped? As someone who grew up in the Northeast, I didn't grow up close enough to Cape Cod to really like. We would go on vacation in Cape Cod once in a while. I think a lot of it is that it's a little bit overhyped, right? I think it's a little bit overhyped to be my guess as to why people have a problem with it. Also, it's living near where the exit you take off to get onto the highway to the Cape. It is miserable on summer weekends, man. It is miserable. Is that gone? Oh my god. What are we doing, dude? What are we doing? Where's Doogie at? He hurt his hamstring. Your buddies play Cape baseball? Yeah, the Cape's pretty nice, man. We'll take it. We will take that every day. Yeah, it's a homer if it hits a certain catwalk. 2007 end of the season run. Man, that'd be incredible. What happened? Rafi hit a ball off the catwalk. Mickey Mouse baseball. I don't even know if this is Mickey Mouse baseball. I have no idea. Yeah, the best time to go to Cape Cod, Wonder, like you said, is the off season. Everything's quiet. You can enjoy the water. I mean, unless you enjoy like swimming and baking on the beach. What's up, Wes? Did someone ever hit a ball out of Tropicana? I feel like I remember that. Or was that a commercial? Does anyone remember? I feel like there was someone who hit one out of Tropicana. Like it went through the roof. Was it Blaze Jordan, the high school home run derby? Was it really? No way it was Blaze Jordan. He hit the back wall. Woohoo, no more. Yeah, I couldn't even. I can't imagine living on the Cape during the summer, man. That's gotta be crazy. Ball hit out of. I wrote the Cape. Ball hit out of Tropicana Park. Let me see. Sano, Miguel Sano hit a ball through the roof, I think. I think it was Miguel Sano. It could have been Blaze Jordan too. I don't know. What's up, Colt? Why is Pavetta throwing a football on the thumbnail? I thought it was funny. I thought it was a funny picture. I was like, that's kind of a funny picture to throw on the thumbnail. So I threw it on the thumbnail. Tennis guy, 2 TVs tonight. Man, you are all 3 if you include listening to me too. Yeah, Turner's been like 0 for something. Why is Rafaela not playing? I'm not sure. I'm not sure why Abreu's getting more starts than Rafaela is. I don't know. Excuse me. Sorry, chap. I don't know if it's something to do with like they're protecting him against good pitching. Like, I mean, we've seen a lot of good pitching lately. I wonder if that's why. What's up, Dennis? So I wonder if that has something to do with it. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I don't know if they're protecting him from playing at the Trop. I don't think that's true, Robbie. I don't think the I don't think that just because he's not playing right now doesn't mean he's not going to get a good look at the beginning of the year. Hey, happy birthday, Harrison. We get some happy birthdays in the chat for Harrison. What do you think the score will be? I think the score will be 4-3 Red Sox. It's gonna be an interesting game. It'll be interesting. I hope so, Anthony. I hope you're right, man. We need it. Yeah, but happy belated. We weren't live yesterday, so I got my hat on today, Chad. I decided to change it up a little bit. There's a ton. This is the one that like just takes hair. No, I stopped doing fantasy football drafts because I'm just so bad at it. I'm so bad at it. You getting old? Nah, you're making me feel old. Don't say that. I also wonder if they're not playing. I wonder if they're not playing to Robbie's point. I wonder if they're not playing Rafaela because they are trying to figure out what they want to do. I'm probably like a large Robbie. Pavetta's a under arbitration until the end of next year, I think. Start school tomorrow. Big day. I'm 25. Do I think the Sox can make the wild card? I don't. What was I saying? Oh, the Ceddanne Rafaela thing. I think part of the reason why he's not playing as much is because I think they're going to try and figure out what to do with their outfield going into 2024, right? Because I think Ceddanne realistically is a big piece for the Red Sox going forward. But I think they're more interested. Like I think they'll give Ceddanne the opportunity to make the team out of spring training, but I also think they need to figure out what they're going to do with Duvall. Like, are they gonna push hard for Duvall? Are they gonna try and let him go? Are they gonna, is Willier a legitimate piece of the team? Because I think when we're looking at it, right, in terms of who the Red Sox are gonna trade based on just straight up past decisions by this front office, I think Willier is a much more likely trade candidate than Rafaela is right now, right? Obviously, Rafaela is worth more, but in terms of worth to the Red Sox, and you're trying to figure out, what your pieces are going into 2024 offseason, Willier to me is much more intriguing than Rafaela is. Right? Like, I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's why you're not seeing Ceddanne in the lineup every single day, because I think they genuinely are faithful in Ceddanne. But I think they're questioning who, if any, they should bring back, who they should trade, stuff like that. So I think they're trying to change the T to the B. Yeah, thanks. Mike Trout World Baseball Classic jersey. That's a nice one. I want a Rafael Devers Dominican Republic one, but my least favorite Red Sox player on this team, Ort. And next year, who would I take? 07 team. Hold on. I want to see. I'll answer your question in a second, Beach Man. Let me look something up real quick. I can't remember John Lester's rookie year. That was 2007, right? I'm taking rookie John Lester for this year and next year if that's the answer. Yeah. Give me John Lester. Give me John Lester in 08, and I'd take him for 2007 too. Right, that's what I'm saying, Robbie. Like, I think they're trying to figure that out. Or it isn't on the team anymore now, but still. Do I expect more from Devers? He's great, but he's so inconsistent. I feel like he hasn't reached the heights we thought he would yet. Still possibly could. See, the problem with me saying do I expect more from Devers is like looking at this team, it's like Devers should be leading it, right? This should be Devers' offense. And it feels like it's not. But at the same time, too, you look at his statistics, right? And he still has a 125 OPS plus. He still has an 848 OPS. He still has 29 home runs. He's going to finish with 100 RBIs and probably 30 home runs. Right? Like, he's still, I mean, that's still an elite level player. So, I mean, it's hard for me to sit here and say I expect more from Devers. Last year, right, he was obviously fantastic, like a different player than he was this year, and I think that's a little bit why. And it's a down year, but it's still worth the whatever millions of dollars he's getting. So do I expect more? I do, but it's hard to say that you do. Does that make sense? That I think they should call up right now? No, I think a lot of the big ones, I think a lot of the big prospects are still a whiles away. Wow, those are great jerseys, QB. What do you think about the recent trend of MLB making new rules to combat things that are in play? At this point, they should give umpires. No, oh, the umpires are out of control? Yeah, the umpires are out of control. I agree with that. Yeah, the fielding side of things needs to be more, right? You flat out need to get more from Devers defensively. That 100%, but I think offensively, right? He's still having a Rafael Devers season. It's just it's about 10% less than what we're used to. Is basically what's going on here, and 10% is obviously a big percent when you're looking over the course of a 162, but it's still a Rafael Devers season. No, Devers won't be playing games at first. Not with Tristan Casas. I could see if I could figure that out, Jonathan. I don't really know how to look that up, to be honest with you. Chances of Heim getting the boot 50-50. I would say 70. I would say 30% boot, 70% here. That's what I would guess. Yeah, I would love for the Sox on Monday this next series to just bury the Yankees in last place. Yeah, umpires, man. It feels like even specifically this year, it has been ridiculous. It has been ridiculous. Do I think it's possible the Red Sox could sign two big name stars and trade for a good starter? I don't know. Three seems significant. I would say no on three. I would say sign one big one and then trade for one big one would be my guess. Do I really think Heimblum's on his way out? No. I would say there's more of a chance this year he's on his way out than there is last year. That's what I'll say. Based on just everything I've heard and I've seen. So that's why I put it at 70% he'll be here, 30% he'll 70% he'll be here, 30% he won't. And I think last year would have been 80-20. So I think there's still, you know what I mean? Oh, no, Robbie. Yeah, the other way around. Yeah, I agree, Brandon. It's crazy this year. It feels like we've seen more umpires have terrible calls. We've seen more ump shows than we've seen in years past. I don't know if it's because of the new rules or what. Go for Ohtani. Why not? I mean, I'm not in on Ohtani. Theo's our GM soon. I'd be insane. Yeah, Beach man, I agree. Um, and I don't know about he hasn't put a good team on the field. I feel like people forget about 2021. I feel like 2023 was a good team. It is overall 2023 is a good team, right? They've won more games than they lost. There's a lot of issues with the 2023 team, but I don't think this team's a bad team. To say that he hasn't put a good team on the field's a bit of an overstatement in my opinion. Yeah, I hope Angel Hernandez just doesn't come back. I don't know if it's a I don't know if it's I don't know if they're just trying to get clout or they're just trying to make a name for themselves because you don't want to make a name for yourself as being a terrible umpire. Macho Man going deep, I love it. What am I most excited about for next season? I'm excited to see how the core of this team develops, right? Because this year you're really starting to see the makings of a legitimate core. Next year I want to see them just sort of explode. Or just explode. It would take a massive amount to get Theo back, for sure. A lot, right? It would take a lot. So I think that's what I'm most excited about, right? How does the core of Bayo, How, Duran, Casas, Yoshida, Devers, Story, Rafaela, how do they all? Yeah, I would assume they'd give. I mean, they're going to go over the luxury tax this season. They definitely will. Who do I think will stay and leave from our pitching staff? Leaving Paxton, Kluber, Joely. Paxton, Kluber, Joely. I think that's kind of it. To be honest with you, I don't think there's gonna be a ton of losses on the pitching staff aside from ones that I think we're all right with. Right? Like I like Paxton. Right? I wouldn't hate a very team friendly deal. But you just need to get better, You need to be better than what Paxton's given you recently. And I think obviously Kluber, you're not if he brings that Kluber, fire him, right? Yeah, I agree with you, Peter. I think they're gonna give. I think, like I said in my video, right? I think with Heim Bloom, it would be, in my opinion, unless you have a slam dunk, we're going to bring this guy in and he's going to take this team and elevate it exactly to where you want it to be. Then let him, you know what I mean? Let him. Give him the off season, give him the resources. Glasnow looks sharp. Yeah, Glasnow always looks sharp. Jansen will close next year. Jansen's been really good. I don't really understand the hate for Jansen. Martin's been fantastic. Don't get me wrong. He's been insane, right? But I don't really understand the hate for Jansen. He's been really good this year. He's been everything we've wanted. All right, Isaiah. Trevor Story contract's not been horrible. We've had worse contracts. Story will be much better next year. What's up, Gritty? I'm all in on Yamamoto, yes. I want Yamamoto so bad. I don't know if I get that. Mike. I'm not sure if that was a joke. Yeah, his card in MLB Show is pretty good. Am I saying explode level of 2018, 2016, 2013, or 2021 level? How do I know? How do I know what? 2018 is going to be impossible to beat, right? I just want. Here's what I want next year. I want predictions for this team to get to like 90 wins, right? I want this team to get to 90 wins next year. I'm trying to get it right now, Clip. Okay, Ramon. Let's do it. Is that something you actually researched, or is that something that you're just saying? All right, Carl Crawford had an 89 OPS plus in 161 games. He also had zero defensive runs saved in the outfield. So he spent 2 years with the Red Sox. One of them was terrible. Story's first two with the Sox. In all fairness, Story has 30 less games. They have the exact same OPS plus. The exact same OPS plus at 89. And he has 11 times the amount of defensive runs saved than Carl Crawford. That was a bit of an exaggeration, Ramon. He's been a better player overall. All right, Jackson. It's not just John Henry. Like, it's not just everyone's like, oh, John Henry, the Red Sox shouldn't be doing the luxury tax stuff. Every team in baseball is worried about the luxury tax. Yeah, but putting Carl Crawford's name out there suggests that this contract's an absolute bust, right? The other thing, too, is that Carl Crawford was just bad his second year, right? He was just bad. Story has, think about it this way, right? If you were a doctor, right? If you were a doctor, you were a heart surgeon, and you injured your hands. You injured your hands, and you had to take a year off. You'd probably take a while to get back to being a very good heart surgeon, right? Now imagine you are one of the 1% best heart surgeons in the world, right? Because MLB players are top 0.001% of baseball players ever, right? There's obviously going to be a little bit of get him. There's obviously going to be a little bit of a time here where he sucks trying to get back. Trying to get back to full health, right? That's just how it's going to work. And you can even look at Adam Duvall, right? Who's great. Adam Duvall has been great this year, but there was a 2-month period when he came back to what he's doing now where he was terrible at the plate, right? And it's because of the fact that these are the best players in the world, and you have not only have to get back and get used to them, get back and get used to hitting against the best players in all of the world, but you also have to make sure you're healthy. You have to make sure your timing's right. You have to make sure your mechanics are right. You have to make sure your defense is right. You got to make sure you're used to the times changes. You got to make sure you're used to the schedule again. You got to make used to being away from your family again, right? It's not just, okay, he's healthy, he should be the player he was. It's just, there's so many other factors that go into breaking down this Trevor Story year than just, okay, you know what I mean? Okay. He's back. He should be what he was. Sorry, Ramon. I meant the first year. Whatever year he played only 31 games. I would say 2017 wins, Beachman. Yeah, there have been some bad trades. The Bagwell trade probably didn't work out very well for the Red Sox, I don't know. Yeah, Robbie, I think everything with Trevor Story's timeline, and I think we will get Rocky's story at some point, Project. I think it'll be next year. Yeah, Robbie, it's just been everything with Story has been just the worst timing ever because one of the most beloved players in franchise history, really, in Xander Bogaerts, both times, right? Xander gets a low ball offer, they sign Trevor Story, right? And then Xander leaves and Story has to get surgery. Oh, yeah, Mike. What's his name? Lear. He'll probably pop. He popped up in a comment section the other day. He'll probably be here tonight. It's just been terrible timing, and I think it really has led to a lot of hate, unwarranted hate, because it's not Story's fault. Would I say JD Martinez was beloved by the Red Sox fans? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's fair, Ramon. And again, I don't know if again I don't really think a lot of that's his fault. Everyone's talking about what are thoughts on Cora. I have no problems with Cora. I don't see the reason why people do have problems with Cora. Um, I don't see why they have their problems with Cora, but oh yeah, he's struggling this year. He's a dead average player this year. Honestly, they're trying to make a move off a shortstop right now. It's been little bit of a mess in Story's first year in San Diego. A little bit of a mess. Yeah, I mean, Mike, that's kind of a crapshoot though. Like that's a tough thing to say. Heim Bloom should have traded him for Jazz Chisholm. That does like especially the Marlins, who are notorious for not paying players in the last year of a contract. I don't think that's gonna happen. I know I saw that, Robbie. Yeah, clip. I think there are a lot of people who've like for me, my prime fandom, right? When I was like 11 and like I still live or die by this team. Clearly, right? I make videos every day about this team. But your prime fandom is when you're like these guys are just gods, right? Um, was when Xander, right? 2013, around there. Combat, that's such a stupid comment if you're calling Veritek fat. Unbelievable. Yeah, I agree with that, Gritty, for sure. Pablo Lopez would have been awesome. Yeah, I don't know about. Is that what you were saying, or are you just saying he was fat? Takes starters out too early. The problem is, right, is that you may feel like it's premature because it's the fourth or the fifth inning, but a lot of these guys are in the 90s for pitches. They're in the middle of a tough situation against a tough matchup, and it's not because these pitchers aren't doing well. It's because the defense, like we saw last night with Cutter Crawford, who had a good outing, he just couldn't make it very far, and he gave up runs because the defense was giving him 3, 4 extra outs. That's the problem with the starters. It's not really Alex Cora. I'm not deleting anything. I haven't touched a comment. Um, right? Like Alex Cora's taking out these pitches because it's not because um you know what I mean? It's not because he wants to and because he's trying to use the bullpen as best as possible. It's because he has to. Yeah, then I don't know who's getting deleted. I think Mike's just deleting his own messages. You can do that. I don't even have my hand near the near the mouse, so and I've been talking this whole time. Do you the new rule in independent league where pitcher? Yeah, I did see that, Gritty. I wonder if they'll do that. Veritek, I would assume Veritek gets retired. I don't know about Wakefield though. Wong's pretty good, man. I don't know why you're upset about Wong Beach. Bar Club PTSD, but again, that's because Chris Sale, you know what I mean, was on a pitch limit, right? Then yeah, maybe they do retire Wakefield. I just had a baby. Valdez's bat has looked good, man. Yeah, I think Wong took a big step forward. I think eventually my hope is that Teal's good enough to be the everyday catcher, and Wong's sort of more of your defensive type catcher. I'll definitely take a look, Ian. Thank you for that. Yeah, Beachman, but it wasn't just Mookie, right? The sort of narrative around the Mookie Betts trade gets twisted a little bit, and I don't know if it's just because he was a generational player, because he was this and that. Come on, stay fair, stay fair. Yes, let's go. Keep running, keep running. Valdez is slow as hell. Let's go. As we're talking crap about him. But speaking about Wong, right, when we're looking at the Mookie Betts trade, it's not just that they got Verdugo, Wong, and Jeter Downs for Mookie Betts. It was because they got Jeter Downs, Connor Wong, Alex Verdugo for 1 year Mookie Betts and the entirety of most of the David Price contract. That's why the return is what it is. It's not because they couldn't get enough from Mookie Betts. It was because they added on the David Price contract to truly start the rebuild. Yeah, it'll be interesting, Ramon. Of course, there will be. There always is. What's up, Pac-Man? Yeah, I think overall Verdugo's been the most valuable piece of that trade. The Red Sox' biggest decision is whether or not to bring back Ord and Kluber. It's gonna be a furious debate in the front office, Eric. Which one do they want? They want Ort at the end of the bullpen, maybe trade Kenley, or do they want Kluber at the top of the rotation? Yeah, if Wong was a little bit more of a contact player, I think he would be a bit better. Same results. Well, your brain just saying there saying wow after that curveball is awesome. Yeah, I mean, Glasnow's just a different player, dude. Extremely happy with my Mayor. Yeah, I mean, listen, we just got to give Mayor time, right? What is the Verdugo issues? I think it's just. I think it's a combination, right? Of he went cold at the wrong time this year. He had his off-field issues, and then I think some people are concerned with his hustle, and then him only having 1 year left and not really seeing any sort of movement on an extension or anything like that. To me, is sort of a accumulation of those things. Eric is sort of is sort of why there's a talk about whether or not he should be on the team. Your Himes burner, do it then, Jay. Am I concerned about Meyer? No, I'm not yet. I'm not. I think if we get through next year, right, and he is still. Wow, nice play. Do I collect baseball cards at all? Once in a while. Yeah, it's ridiculous clip. I'm not concerned about Maya yet. No, he's 20 years old, right? I think there's such high expectations on these guys because we're seeing these 20-year-olds come up like Corbin Carroll, and you know what I mean? Because there's only one out. You don't run immediately on that. Definitely not. I think he gets another year, Pac-Man, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. I don't think there's going to be any more real call-ups now. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Eric. And honestly, I don't really want to get into that during our live stream here. Also, clip. Nothing against you, Eric. I'm not doing anything against you, but that word right there, starting with the R at the end of your comment, could get me demonetized. So, clip or Robbie, you mind just deleting that comment for me? I say again, it's nothing against you, Eric. You didn't know, right? Just a heads up in the future that could really affect my monetization and just my status on YouTube. So, if we could avoid that, you use another word, you know what I mean? It really help. Yeah, I don't think we'll see any more exciting call-ups this year now. Maybe they swap Walter for Murphy at some point, but other than that, I really don't think there'll be anything crazy. It's pretty good, Mike. Yeah, Karen, it just has a ton. It just has a ton of movement. It's disgusting. Everything he throws has a ton of movement. Pablo Sandoval out of retirement. That's the key to the Red Sox future. I agree. Patriots first game Saturday or Sunday. I'm interested. I'm not like crazy excited. Honestly, usually the start of Patriots season, especially these last couple of years, signal the end of my run on YouTube for the year until baseball off season. So no, I'm not really excited. What's up, Brandon? Get Kyle Teal up? Oh, man. I wouldn't be shocked if they fast track him. I would not be shocked if they fast track him. Honestly. Thanks for watching, Nick. What's going on, my friend? My burner account? I actually don't have a burner account. I just sort of eat it. When do I think... I met Jim Rice. My dad wants to look at. He actually said to my dad he doesn't watch too much baseball anymore through the playoffs. That is kind of an old head mentality, I think, yeah. That's disgusting, Nick. I would not do it. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. I honestly, yeah, I agree with all you guys. I think Kyle Teal could be up very quickly. Oh, God. I usually, Ian, I try to go somewhere in between the bleachers and the box seats or the loge seats. So I'm usually in grandstands between like 10 and 16 ish, somewhere in that area. It's usually where I'm at. That's ridiculous, Jay. See, I would never do that. Welcome back, Isaiah. Doing the Astros last weekend. Thanks for being there. Oh yeah, the Red Sox Double A team is going into next year. They're literally like, is there a Double A World Series? I don't even know. I don't even know. Um, yeah, I have no idea. But either way, if they are, they're going to be minor league World Series favorites, dude. I mean, think about their starting lineup starting next year, right? Kyle Teal, Marcelo Meyer, hopefully not Nick York, but probably Nick York. Roman Anthony, Blaze Jordan, and then your pitchers, you got Wilkerman Gonzalez, Luis Paredes will probably be up there soon. Your Donnie Monegro will probably be up there soon. Like, it's going to be stupid. Bobblehead days. I don't know. I think assuming every player in baseball now is selfish is a bit ridiculous. When does Marcel Meyer get called up? Probably towards the end of 25. Winning bid. Let's go. I honestly hope Blaze Jordan does get traded, and that's not because I don't think he'll be a good player. It's because I think I think if you don't trade him right, he's gonna get log jam, and maybe that screws up his stuff, and he ends up not being anything in Major League Baseball. If I'm the Red Sox, I am going to trade him this offseason for pitching. Yeah. Uh, yes, Daniel. I have a whole list. I have about one, two, three, four, five names right now, off the top of my head that I got planned for the end of September going into October. October we got a lot. Did Rafi catch that? That's crazy, Clip. Let me know if you get it. Opted not to play? Did Eduardo Rodriguez opted not to play, right? But yeah, Daniel, I got a lot. Yeah, we got a lot in mind because again, the Red Sox aren't going to do much in October, which sucks. So I'm going to have to fill that content between October and then free agency in November. So it's probably going to be a lot of trade possibility videos. I'm looking at a lot of extension videos. We got Costas extension video coming up. Yeah, I was pumped about it, Clip. It's not numbered or anything, so it's not super valuable. But I got a great deal on it in auction. It's actually right there. Right there. Heart problem? Oh, that's right, yeah. But he opted out of the season because of it, I think. I think more so, Daniel. I think I talked about this a couple of times, I think in different videos, but the Red Sox defense, while terrible, right? It is god awful, historically horrendous this year. I think it's a bit of an outlier. And let me explain why, right? When we're looking at outs above average, a large chunk of those outs above averages, well, never mind. Okay. Kike Hernandez being at shortstop is a big reason why you're getting dragged down in terms of outs above average. On top of that, too, when you're looking at it, right, Tristan Casas has a well below outs above average, which I think is something not easily improvable, but I think will be improved upon. We're seeing it right now, right in front of our eyes. He's looked a lot better over the last month. And then, oh, that one's gone. Yeah. Well, that's a tie game. Dude, this kid, Brandon Lowe, is like one of the most underrated players in baseball. And then you're looking at right. You're looking at the rest of the team here. No, Nomar's jersey won't get retired. In terms of defensive metrics, right? Again, you're looking at Tristan Casas is one of the lowest, but I think he's got a lot of room for improvement. I think he has. We're seeing those improvements. I think he'll be better next year. Rafi's the one who needs to be better, right? Rafi was much better last year. He took a big step backwards this year. So I think I think we're going to see a better Rafi next year, and that's just sort of blind faith that Rafi's going to take a lot of care into his defensive metrics. And then Massa, there's not really a whole lot you can do. I think he'll be slightly better next year. I still think he'll be below average. Story is some of the best defense in the league, Danielle. To say he has mid defense is not true. Story should not be lumped into there. I think Casas starts going more towards middle defense, and you don't need to have insane defense to be a good team. You just need to not have historically bad defense, which is what we saw this year, right? And I think overall, you get, say, Don Rafaela up here, and then you talk about third base, shortstop, and second base. Best minor leaguers voted on in terms of defense was Nick York, Marcelo Meyer, and I believe Don Rafaela. I can't remember, but you've got a lot of good defense coming up through the minor leagues as well. So I think this year is a bit of an outlier when it comes to defensive metrics. But I do think it would be beneficial here to ensure that at the very least going into next year you have second base fully secured, right, with a good defensive second baseman. And I think it's important that you make sure that your outfield is good defenders, because if you're going to hide Massa in left field, that's fine. But you need to make sure Duran is an above average outfielder. You need to make sure that whoever you have in right field, whether that be Duvall starting, whether that be Cedon starting, or whether that be Doogie starting, is an above average defensive outfielder too. And, to sit, like, I sit here and I say, like, the defense this year has been atrocious, but I don't think it's going to be a trend. Does that make sense? Oh, Eric, dude, it's miserable. It's miserable. The horns, the DJ, it's all terrible. Duvall needs an extension for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. How many Red Sox jerseys do I have? I have 4. I'm trying to get more. They're just so expensive, man. It's ridiculous. And it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts when the off-brand ones, I would buy the off-brand ones. I have no problem paying for them, but just my OCD in me, they're off-brand because everything's off just by a little bit. It drives me crazy, so I can't buy them. Yeah, he has been. Do you not even know his name, Joel? It's been an entire year, dude. Come on now. You have 8 Tristan Casas' cards? Nice. I agree with you, Johnny. But I think Meyer could be better than okay. Next Foco Day? I don't know, man. I haven't heard from Foco in a while. Trivia night, I'm trying to figure that out right now. It's this month. We'll do a watch party / trivia night this month. Yeah, that's my plan is to get a Casas jersey. Scared your son? Yeah, it's crazy, Eric. It's crazy. Trivia this month, and then we'll start doing movie nights and stuff. Get a new GM? I would say probably not, but I don't think it's impossible. Watch party for the World Series? We might do something like that, yeah. Maybe for members only, because we're going to have to figure out what to do for our members-only live streams. Sorry, Chad. I got to give my iPad charger to my girlfriend. She can pop in for a second. I will do a poll for the movie. Yeah, we'll figure out the movie together. I don't really know, to be honest with you. I used to have all those, man. I used to have I had a Matsuzaka, I had a Veritek, and a Papelbon, but they just got too small. Likely candidate to get traded this MLB offseason on the Red Sox. What do you think the Red Sox biggest splash will be this offseason? I think they'll make a big splash. I think they'll make a big splash on the pitching side of things. I think they will. How am I going to do this? We'll do it on Discord, I think, Jay. Does Gunnar Henderson playing shortstop? Yeah, right now, Robbie, yeah. To get Rookie of the Year, I think Costas needs to have like a pretty incredible, like he needs to have the run he had in July, he needs to do that again. He needs to do that again and ASAP. Literally no reason. We already kind of talked about it, the reason a little bit by. I understand the frustration, but when you're looking at... Oh, hold on 1 second. Oh, delivery service. Thanks. Ah.
Oh no.
Everyone say hello. Say hello, Misty. Okay. Thanks to my painting shorts. Wait, what'd I do with my... But I'll explain this again, because I think there is a legitimate reason why the Red Sox may not be playing Cedon every day, and I think it's actually a good thing, right? And hear me out, okay? Because this offseason, you've got a big old log jam in the outfield. You got a big old log jam in the outfield, right? And you need to figure out what to do with it. You've got Verdugo on one last year of his contract. What do you do with Verdugo? You've got Duvall, who's a free agent. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with him? Right? Are you gonna try and re-sign him? Or are you not? You got Willie Abreu, who seems major league ready, but is he a legitimate piece for a Red Sox team in the future? Right? And obviously, you got Cedon. You've got Duran. You got Yoshida on top of that. You've got about 7 guys, really. You need to figure out what to do within the offseason. So for me, the reason they're playing Willie Abreu, Will Jur, he just corrected someone, Will Jur, Abreu, and the thoughts that you are playing Adam Duvall every day. But let me get to this, Let me get to this before we start getting into an argument here. I understand he needs ABs. Bear with me. Let me finish this, okay? So what they're doing is they're playing guys like Wilshere, they're playing guys like Manuel, right? They're playing these guys to see what their trade value will be and figure out exactly what their plan is to do over the offseason. I understand he needs ABs. I understand he needs to get used to Major League Baseball. But the Red Sox also need to figure out how to be a legit contender in 2024, right? And to me, that's more important than getting Cedon Rafaela right now, his ABs, right? The fact that he's not playing every single day, in my opinion, lends more to the fact that they're comfortable with his ability and they believe he will be around for a while. I think the fact that Wilshere is playing, and Manuel is playing a lot, the fact that Duvall is playing almost every single day, lends more to the fact that they don't know what that future on the Red Sox is going to look like versus what Cedon Rafael is going to look like. So I know it's frustrating to hear that he's not going to be in every single game, but I think it makes sense why he's not in every single game. Does that make sense, Bye? I really don't think Daniel's going to opt out. They needs to be in AAA, but you also want him there's no harm in having him up at the big league level right now. I don't think so. I mean, if they had called him up 2 months ago and he'd been sitting here for 2 months, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, why is he not getting every day at B's? But you're talking about the last 2 weeks of the minor league schedule. 2 weeks, right? He's missing 2 weeks. But it's not decision making. You flat out need to be a contender in 2024. You need to figure out what the hell you're going to do. It's not decision making. It's trying to figure out what you have. Oh, watching the Bobby Valentine Sox, it's not even close. I don't know who Phil Planter is, so you're going to have to maybe a newer. Oh my God, what? This is what I'm saying. Massa low-key fast. Yeah, I think he's out. Yeah, he's out. How far do I live from Fenway? I don't know, about 25 minutes. 90 Sox prospects. See, Peter, I wasn't even alive. Yeah, Mike. I mean, it's pretty accurate. Um, yeah, I don't think Blaze is a really solid player, and I think he will be a really solid player. Yeah, but I don't think he's. I really don't think there's a spot. Honestly, I don't know if I'd want to be on the radio. I would do like a radio spot, I think, but I don't know if I'd want to be on the radio. I think Nick York's good, dude. I think Nick York's got a future. I'm big on Nick York. Would I trade Wilger Abreu? Yeah, I would. I would trade him for if someone offered if the Miami Marlins come to you this offseason and say, look, we want to give you Edward Cabrera and we want Doogie, Wilger, and Wilkerman Gonzalez, I'd be like, yes, any day. Obviously, I think it'd be more than that, but yeah. I think it's either. All right, Robbie, have a good one, my friend. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for monitoring. Thanks, appreciate you. I think there's a few people that aren't buying. I think we've seen that. Yeah, Miami needs hitting. That's who. If I'm the Red Sox, that's who I'm calling up this offseason. They have a wealth of young pitching, and they have no hitting. Corbin Burns. See, my problem with Corbin Burns is that you only have 1 year of control. He had declining metrics this entire year. Well, as Edward has a ton of control. Here's my outlook on that buy. I think every prospect should be at some level available, right? If the Royals came to us and said, "Look, we want to give you Bobby Witt Jr. for Marcelo Meyer and Marcelo Meyer and Nick York," I would do that without even blinking. I don't know if that's crazy or not, but Bobby Wood Jr. is a legit superstar, right? To me, that's what available means when you're talking about these top guys. But at the same time, too, if you're a front office, and I think there's a level of what is available and what isn't available. I think that's smart, right? Because you have such a wealth of great prospects in the system, and not all of them are in the top 100, right? I'm talking about some of these under the radar guys that scouts really love and other teams really love as well. That I think you need to figure out, if you were the front office right now, who should be available and who shouldn't be available, right? Because that's how. Wow, that was a terrible. How did he strike out on that? Where was I? Oh, right. So when you're looking at no one should be untouchable, I actually think I understand what you're saying, but I actually think there should be a untouchable and touchable because I think what that means is you have made a decision on your analytics, on your prediction, and you've decided that these guys are going to be big players, these guys aren't. And to me, that's essentially what you need to do with this minor league system right now, because if you don't, you're going to end up with a lot of players who either fizzle out, get hurt, or don't become anything, and you lose value on that. Right, bye. I understand what you're saying, but I also, like, that was just my thought process on it, right? Where if I'm the Red Sox, I'm looking at Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, and honestly, that's about it, right? To me, and then obviously you put in Bayo and Casas in there. So you got four guys, in my opinion, that the asking price has to be absurd, right? Someone needs to come in and blow your doors off. Like I said, Bobby Witt Jr. for Marcelo Maya and Roman Anthony, right? That to me is like blow your doors off available. But there should be levels to it. Trade sale for what? What do you, why? The trade sale stuff is so dumb. One, he is a free agent after 2024. Two, you're going to have to eat all of his salary to get anything back from him and include another prospect to get anything back from him. So you'd be giving stuff up and paying for sale to pitch somewhere else to get anything for sale. And three, if you did just want to shed the salary, please go foul. Thank God. That's kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think only having one guy in your system that you definitely wouldn't trade. The best prospect in the system, I think it could be, but he's still so young, man. I think a lot of people the opposite of you, Logan. It was Dombrowski's worst move, Beach. It was here, definitely. I don't know about overall, but here. Oh, come on, dude. Don't extend this inning. What about the Price contract? Well, yeah, but you also included Mookie Betts, right? One missed umpire call. I knew the second he missed that call. Nah, if only they had defense this year, man. Pavetta around next year? Yeah, I think he will be. I think he's valuable out of the bullpen. Who has the worst fans in Major League Baseball? Yankee fans are miserable. Astros fans are miserable. Miserable. Yeah, Daniel, there's another pitcher. I can't pronounce his name very well. I'm still working on getting a pronunciation before I make a video on him, but I'll be making a video this week about another Japanese pitcher kind of out of nowhere who'd be, I don't know, give you the same star quality, but he'd be an interesting piece to look at. Tampa fans are non-existent. Blue Jays fans are kind of annoying. Yeah, Blaze will be interesting. Yankee fans are probably the worst, yeah, but Blue Jays fans and Astros fans are getting up there, man. They're getting up there. Astros fans really annoy me. Sandoval is definitely a way worse deal, yes. And why is that, Nick? I think Meyer will be fine. Mara will be fine. Blaze will be interesting because he had to get surgery, so we'll see what that looks like. Dodgers fans are interesting because they either are super knowledgeable and super fun to talk to, or they're absolutely not knowledgeable and know nothing. I'm sure, Ethan. Yeah, there are some Red Sox fans that make it hard to be a Red Sox fan. What's up, Jackson? Welcome back. Yeah, I don't know. Dodgers fans are so weird to me. Every fan base has some bad eggs. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Daniel, this is in my opinion the offseason to truly see um how Heimblum can handle a big league team. But he doesn't have all that money to spend, Nick. You're misconstruing it. You're just assuming he's deciding not to spend. That's not how that works. I think this is the offseason where you see if Heimblum can handle the big market. Because I think he'll have the money capital. I think he'll have the no luxury tax capital. And I think he'll have the player capital to really make some big moves. Contracts up at the end of 2024. I would say, I talked about this already. I think it's like a 70% chance Heimblum's back. I would be fairly surprised Heimblum's gone, but not crazy. Turner's the big one for me. Snell. I never really wanted Urias, to be honest with you. I don't know who that is, Lawson. Oh my God. Prodigy, why would you want him here after seeing that? Rafi almost just made a fantastic play, by the way. Oh, yeah, Lawson. Yeah. I do. And we're making a video this weekend about him. We'll probably make it Friday. Yeah, the fact that someone like Prodigy, no, dude. Yeah, Valdez keeps running, dude. He's got him. That sucks. Are you from London, Ethan? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Ricky. I agree with that, CW. Yeah, I said in the video, right? What, Ivan? I don't get that. Oh, with every pitch, who knows? Oh, you went to London? That's awesome. Live in Colorado? Wow. Thank you. No, Casas was an offensive liability in the minors. In fact, a lot of people really loved his defense in the minors. I think what happened was early. He got so wrapped up in trying to become a better hitter at the major league level that his defense just sort of fell, and that's why he was really bad at the beginning of the year. It's been a lot better recently. I'm not really worried about I'm really not worried about Costas' defense going forward. Costas has the sixth best OPS in the American League. Yeah, it's hard to hate John Henry in my eyes when you have 4 World Series championships. It's just hard. He's also a lot older than a lot of owners, right? He's what? It is mid-70s. So I can understand him not trying to be here. Why'd the Red Sox fire Dave Dombrowski? I think a lot of it had to do with sort of the outlook coming out of 2019. That is a absurd take by. That is an absurd take. Why don't you ask the Reds, Pirates, Royals? They're all of their guys show up to the stadium. Let's ask them how they're doing. You know what I mean? Like to say you'd rather have 0 championships and an owner who shows up and cares enough to show up is crazy. I would rather have 1 million championships and never know who the owner of the team is. Like, I would much rather, much rather I would rather not even know who the owner of the Red Sox is and us be in contention every year. And if you think the opposite, that is crazy. I mean, he did hand out $500 million this offseason by. It's not like he isn't spending money. The Red Sox not spending money narrative is so overblown, dude. 1 year under the luxury tax, and everyone's like, they're the cheapest goddamn team in the league. Right, look at Steve Cohen and the Mets. Would I rather for a World Series? I do it. Yeah, yes, easily. Care about him hiding? I mean, he didn't really I don't know. He didn't really been hiding. He was at Winter Weekend. He took the booze pretty well. I was there. I just it's hard for me. Like the money thing's hard for me to get really behind. The he's a terrible owner thing is hard for me to get behind because he got 4 World Series, right? It will be interesting to see. Oops, top 5. I don't think. That's a good question, Daniel. I think they keep most of them, and that might be ridiculous. But if you keep Houck in the rotation, one of Houck or Crawford in the rotation, right? Then you've got Whitlock, Pivetta, and Crawford all in the bullpen, and suddenly, right, you're pushing guys out who are like Ort, Yovera, Jakes, Barraclough, right? You're pushing out these sort of quadruple A relievers when you need arms because you got all that stuff. Here's the thing, Gritty. I think when you're talking about ownership is wrapped up in too many other projects, it's not like John Henry sitting up there, right? and he's making all the decisions, right? That's not really how it's going. I think a lot of it is what's happening is they're allocating, right? They're Chaim Bloom's the head of baseball operations. Sam Kennedy's the president of baseball operations. Sam Kennedy's sort of the representation for ownership within the Red Sox organization, more so than John Henry is, because John Henry's not owning the Red Sox. He's the primary shareholder of FSG, which is more so everything, right? So, I don't know if it's, I don't know. All right, Ethan, good luck, man. Wonder Davey re-upped his membership. Thank you so much, Wonder. I think they get close, Wolf. I don't know if they'll be able to get in with everything. Surprised there was no throw there. The budget is related. Definitely don't bring back Renfroe now. The budget is related to draft picks. Yeah, you lose draft picks. You get every year you're over a certain amount of luxury taxes. I think it's over 2 years in a row. You get taxed more. You get draft picks taken away. Winning or losing a series against the O's. Is it 3 or 4 games? Is it 4 games against the O's? 3? I would say losing. It's possible, Daniel, but again, if you push out, say you push out the bottom 3 pitchers on this 40-man roster, right? You push out Chris Murphy or Brandon Walter. You push out Yovera. You push out Ort, who's still in the 60-day somehow. You push out Jakes. You push out there's about 6 or 7 guys you can push out. Yeah, but what does it matter by Steve Cohen's a great manager, or great public owner, but his team sucks this year and they were booted their first round of the playoffs last year. Who gives a crap about what the owner's personality's like? That means no sense. That makes no sense. Wong here long term? Yeah, probably. I would say Wong's here long term. Yeah, the last year. How many? Okay, let's play a game, right? Who? All right, let's take a poll here. 4 World Series championships in 20 years, or a guy who's in tune with the fan base that spends a lot of money. Go. Yeah, that's a ridiculous take by that. You would rather have Steve Cohen because he's in tune with the fan base. I'm sorry, it is, right? Everyone and their mother would take 4 rings over a guy who tweets a lot. Yeah, Glasnow's beating us down, man. Glasnow's beating us down. I don't know, man. I don't know what the true problem of the Red Sox is. And I think, to be honest with you, the true problem is we're just not patient enough to deal with this. To be honest with you, this is very clearly when bringing Chaim Bloom in was the signal of a rebuild, right? And I just think, as Red Sox fans in the last 20 years, I don't think we're patient enough to sit through a rebuild. Well, I guess that's true, Mike. Yeah, the end of the season schedule is ridiculous, man. It's absurd. We play Baltimore and then New York. And then we play Toronto, Texas, and the White Sox, we get a break. Wow, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 series left. I think so, Wolf. I think they'll make moves to push themselves into contention for 24. And then I think we'll no, 2013 wasn't so much a rebuild season as this is. Um, I think they push in more so for 2025 and beyond, but I do think they push in and put themselves into a contention. Yeah, the Yankees aren't exactly a joke anymore, especially with all those young kids. 2014 and 2015 were rebuild seasons. More so 2015. Oh, no answer, Johnny. Yeah, 2014 was a blow up season. I say 2015 was more of a rebuild season. Yeah, I agree, Ivan. No, I don't think so, Grady. No, because I think that was a. Ugh. Um, I think the reason they shouldn't tank is because you have so much. Uh, Hold on, Johnny. I'll answer that in a second. I think the reason you don't want them going for last place in the division and trying to get a lower wild card spot, because even last place in the division is probably still 16th or 17th in the league, right? So um, it's still not a crazy draft pick. Two, you want this young core to continue to develop, right? You don't want them to tank to get a lower draft pick. You want to see Costas to continue to improve. You want to see Wong. You want to see Bayo. You want to see Masataka get back into a groove, right? You want to see Devers end the season on a strong note for next year. You want to see Wilshere and Manuel and Duvall and see what you got for 2024 to just sort of be like, all right, guys, take it easy the rest of the year. To me, wouldn't be very beneficial. Durant is a star, man. Yeah, I've talked to Carabas a few times. He's a really, really nice guy. He helped me a lot with a couple of things that happened behind the scenes that I was struggling with. We talked for a while at Savannah Banana Games. Carabas is a really, really good guy. Show everyone the prediction I sent you on Discord. 2021 was a surprising season, yeah. Draft is a crapshoot, especially with the. It says his prediction's pain for the rest of the year. I don't see Yovera here next season now. I wish we had some young pitchers to look out for. I agree with that, CW. Yeah, bye. I think if you're looking for cool young pitchers right now, you could be waiting a little bit. There are some exciting ones in the minor leagues that if you're really interested in, there's a couple videos on my channel. Yeah, Yuri Perez. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be a lot. I wouldn't stick Yoshida DH yet. No, because he's not good in left field, but he's not like disgustingly terrible. Is Whitlock still in the bullpen? I think so. I don't think that's really weird, especially at the big league level, man. I really don't think like loving pitching is weird. Like at the big league level, I mean, there's so many gross pitchers. There's so many great like level pitchers in the majors right now. I really don't think it's a weird thing to say. Do I see Peter Fotzey and Dave Bush being fired this season? I would say more so Peter Fotzey before Dave Bush. Because, again, I think a lot of the concerns with the pitching this season has come from health and extra outs. I think this team has good team chemistry. I don't think there's a problem with team chemistry right now. Like, I think that's just concern to have a concern, to be honest with you. I mean, this team is so in sync. This team is so in sync that they're hot and cold together. Oh, that's right. Thank you. Whitlock's on the bereavement list. I forgot about that. Thank you, Christian. Yep. How long do I think till Justin Turner retires? Probably 2 years, 3 years. I don't think too much longer. It depends. I mean, if you can do this every year. Oh, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Daniel, there's not a ton of middle infield depth on the open market. And there's not really a ton. Their energy could be higher. See, again, Joel, I think at this point we're just sort of nitpicking stuff, right? Like that. I don't think that's really the main concern of the team right now. Yeah, second base might be a tough one to fill, dude. Unless you're willing to give up a bunch of. I thought that was gone, so I'll take that. I don't think Pablo's going to be an everyday player next year, man. I don't think over 162, I don't love Pablo at second base. He's a franchise player, true. We are building a statue of him. Build around him. Yeah, we're going to get crushed in this game, chat. There's no bullpen. I don't have Valdez on the team next year. I think they flip Valdez. I agree with that, Daniel. Yeah, I think Pablo and Urias, CW said it too. I think both of them have shown flashes that they could work out. If I'm the Red Sox, I'm looking for answers at every single position, right? And so if I'm the Red Sox, maybe Urias, maybe Pablo's is a guy that they're very comfortable in. I don't know. I think I trade for Verdugo. Ketel Marte, that would not help your defense. That I totally agree with Daniel. Yes. Yes. If the Red Sox want Ceddanne Rafaela to get everyday playing time, and they also want to make sure their outfield is fully sustainable, I could 1,000,000% see them playing him at second base. Because he can handle second base, I think. Duran, Ceddanne, Doogie, Casas, Story, Meyer. Oh. I think this is crazy, but no, it frustrates me too. I don't like it. I used to love Youkilis's batting stance. I used to try and emulate in middle school ball, and people hated it. Orioles promoted him to the major leagues? No, he just went to AAA. There's no way they just promoted Jackson Holiday, right? Did they really just do it? No. Oh, okay, AAA. I was like, oh my god. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so, Chance. Holiday was always a way bigger draft uh, hype than Meyer had. That's not exactly true. I think that they'll get rid of Dahlbeck this season. They need to make room on the 40-man roster. Jackson Holiday was drafted in the what last year, 2022. He was definitely more hyped than Mayer was. That's a bit of a. He definitely was. Um, when you try the uke stance where your hands touching, they were separated like this. See, obviously you'd go up like this, right? Hold it like this, and then when the ball came, like that, right? I would love to see Dahlbeck at Coors. That'd be awesome. See you later, distractions. Thanks for coming by, my friend. I'm pretty. Marcel Meyer was under slot too, I think. Hold on, let me look. Always doing research for you guys. No one can ever come to me with like a legit. Is it a John Boy Masa shirt? No, it's just a Masataka Yoshida shirt. It's 47. Masataka Yoshida. All right, chat. We're researching. You got drafted in 22? I mean, dude, he was a number 2 draft pick. Meyer was number 1, right? So it's really not. And I also think Jackson Holiday's ceiling was much better. Drew Jones was an insane prospect. This is just falling apart in front of us, chat. Yeah, his hitting tools are rated higher than Marcelo's was. Overall, they're about the same, but $2 from Mr. Money Mike Madness. What if Dahlbeck traded for Rowdy Tellez in the offseason? I would hate that. I'd be so mad. No, Barraclough's not on the team anymore. It'll probably be Walter for like 4 innings. This is nothing to do. Why does everyone think this is a John Boy? It's not. Yeah, I want to go. I want to go to at least a couple more games before the season's over, but I don't know if I have time. We got Yo Vera. Don't worry. Well, like Chance, I don't know why you're so like. Are you against Marcelo Meyer for some reason? I don't get it. No, I don't think we'll see Drowan. He just went on the IL. Then I'm confused. Like, what are you complaining about? Like, I don't get it. Like, I just like Marcelo Meyer too. On top of that, has dealt with injuries the last 2 years. He was adjusting to Double A. He was trying to play through a lot of stuff in Double A. So I don't know. I'm still extremely high on Marcelo. I think Bernardino's here next year. I wouldn't be shocked if he isn't. It's just, I mean, people have such different trajectories, man. It's so hard to say stuff it's just frustrating. Like it's just life. You know what I mean? Some people are gonna get stuff quicker than you are. It doesn't mean you're better or worse. It just means you take longer to get there. It's not like maybe it'll be frustrating if 10 years from now, you know what I mean? They're just completely different player. Um, it's just for me. You're gonna work yourself into it. You're gonna make yourself insane if you sit there with every prospect the Red Sox draft and compare them to the exact same type prospect and what their trajectory has been, because there's just so many different things that could happen in the minor leagues. I mean, Jackson Holiday, heaven forbid this doesn't happen. Dude, he's a good defensive. He was literally voted the best defensive shortstop in the minor leagues today. I don't know really where you're getting your information by, but I just don't think it's healthy to sit here and just be like, well, Jackson Holiday's going to be up a year before Marcelo Meyer is. Marcelo's way worse of a prospect. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a different. He's had 2 injuries, dude, and he's 20 years old. I mean, come on, guys. Meyer's not really prone to injuries either. No, he sprained his wrist last year. Like, it's not like he's been dealing with inflammation his entire career. He sprained his wrist last year, you know? Well, they've also had the number one pick in the draft for the last few years. If you can't even spell his name right, Alex, you're either a really bad troll or you have absolutely know nothing about what you're talking about. It's just, yeah. Also, Sox are stacked at short. Yeah, I think between him, Meyer, what Sadan could be, and Story. You got a bunch of different options, which would be interesting. Khalil Watson, yeah, that could be a rough one. Just like Mookie Betts, I hate that comparison because everyone expects him to be Mookie Betts, and it sucks. Stance wise, yes. Stance wise, he definitely does. But David Hamilton, I think we've seen the last of David Hamilton, unfortunately, Mike. They need to make room on the 40 man. I think he needs to do both, Pac-Man. I think he needs to get a free agent pitcher, and I think he needs to trade for a pitcher too. Yeah, I could, Prodigy. And it's because it's not really a hard bar, right? Once you get past Murphy, JT Realmuto, and Adley, right? It's a huge drop off to the next offensive catcher. Yeah, Drew Jones has been really struggling. But that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, there's so many different paths a prospect could take. It's to me it's way too early to say a 20-year-old struggling, right? Oh yeah, Jonah Heim, you could say is up there, but yeah, I think after those like four, right? It's a steep drop off offensive production wise. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if even if he's a slightly above league average hitter, he's a top five hitting catcher in baseball. Contreras is Contreras. I thought Contreras wasn't have a good year. Ugh. I don't know if he'll be the next JT Realmuto, dude. JT's a really special catcher. Yeah, William. Oh, William Contreras. How's he doing this year? Yeah, yeah, you could put him up there. Has he played a lot of games at catcher though? Yeah, yeah, he's played most of his games at catcher. Yeah, put him up there. I like the change in the name, Tom. Yeah, it is. It is hard finding a good hitting catcher, man. It's so few and far between because defense is so highly regarded with catching, and it makes sense, right? It's probably the outside of, I mean, maybe shortstop's a little bit better, but um, when you're talking about good hitting catchers, right? Obviously, your priority is more so on the defense. Has to be. Mike Piazza, the best offensive catcher ever. I don't know enough about catching history to make that. To be honest with you, he's probably up there. I would say yes. He probably has the most home runs for catching, right? Maybe Johnny Bench, Yogi Berra, maybe. Um, Although I don't know much about Yogi Berra hitting wise. I don't know if he was like an insane hitter. Um, yeah, I don't know. Offensive catchers for Veritek, like 20. Most good hitting catchers moved to first, yeah. Jorge Posada, yeah. I would assume at some point the Orioles look something like this 700. I assume they look something like this. Joe Mauer, that's a good one. Yeah, he won what? One or two MVPs? One or two. I think it was it two? Or maybe I'm thinking of Justin Morneau. Either Joe Mauer or Justin Morneau won two. I don't remember. Dude, oh my God. Tyler Glasnow is gross. Buster Posey, Pudge. Did Jess make me wear the Franklin hat? No, I told her I'd wear it tonight. Johnny Bench was the best. I know. Yeah, I don't know. I never got to see him. Yeah, I always get Mauer only had one. Did Morneau have two? Or what? Am I just combining them in my head? Morneau almost had two. Okay, yeah. What did he come in like second or third? Yeah, Pudge was up there. Carlton Fisk wasn't a bad offensive and defensive catcher. Sean Murphy, I think, yeah, is the best offensive and defensive catcher in baseball right now. I think he's the best catcher in baseball right now. This is the best farm system the Sox have ever had. I would say I don't think so, Gritty. I would say it's close, but Will Smith is one of the most underrated catchers in the league. Yeah, I always forget about him. 2013 farm system was good. There was also like what late 70s or early 70s, right? You had Lynn, Evans, Dwight. Or, I'm sorry, Lynn, Evans, Jim Rice. I don't know. Thoughts on Adames as a potential trade candidate? Yeah, I mean, I wanted Willie Adames badly. Question is, are you moving Story to short for a guy for one season, or are you gonna put Adames at second? That's sort of the question, right? $19.99 MVP. Pedro, yeah, Pedro. Wasn't that like his best year ever? You made yourself laugh. Will Dill Smith, dude, this is crazy. Glasnow is just mowing people down. This is ridiculous. This is why yesterday's game felt so important. Because, I mean, Tyler Glasnow is just so ridiculous. Ah, come on. You struck out 14 Red Sox. Oh, my God. 14. If they put him out there, it'd be crazy. Well, a lot of it too, Daniel, is because it's a huge pay difference, right, between an all-star second baseman and an all-star shortstop. Huge difference. Rays always have stout pitching. It's strange. Yeah, they're pitching mecca. It's crazy, but they also have the most pitching injuries in all baseball too. So I think what they're doing right now is just like, hey, we're gonna blow everything out. Just this season, I think, Chance. No, Goblin. This is just a flat-out dominant performance from Glasnow. He could be facing the 1996 All-Star team, and he'd still have 14 strikeouts. This dude is crazy. Yeah, that's why it's so dramatic from players moving from shortstop to second base, because there's I mean, you're talking about, I think, what was the biggest contract we've seen recently for a second baseman? Altuve's contract, right? It may even honestly be Dustin Pedroia's contract from there. Yeah, Yonder Diaz has been good, man. Yeah, so he's getting paid 30 mil, Altuve. So top 5 second baseman of all time. I don't know, man. Rogers, Hornsby, Ryan Sandberg, Altuve's probably in there. I don't really know a lot of. That's like the only second. Jackie Robinson. Probably, this is in no particular order, by the way. Pete Rose, sure. Yovera's been good lately, man. I don't know if he's actually going to get put back on the 40-man roster, Christian, but he is making a rehab start. He's got a lot of time. Yeah, I got a lot, Mike. I'm going to pick it back up once the season ends. I'm going to do a lot of short form content, I think, once the season ends. I get it. I actually get it, Chance, because it really does. He's kind of fun to watch. Not going to lie. He gives up runs, but he's kind of fun to watch. How many of the minor league levels have I seen in person? I've seen everything but low A. Or I'm sorry, but both the A's. I haven't seen high A or low A, but I've seen double A, triple A, and I've actually seen a Florida Complex League. game when I went down there for some random vacation one time. We went to it. Well, that's in my lifetime. This year, I've only seen AAA. I want to get to a AA game, but I don't think I'll. I just don't have time. It's too far of a drive. It really is. Paw Sox era was a blast. I did like that stadium though. I think Joe Kelly will have a big impact on the bullpen next season. Yeah, I think what we're missing right now, right, is you got. I'm going to go to a Portland Sea Dogs game next year, yes, for sure. Especially if you got Teal, Anthony, Meyer, Jordan. Probably not Nick York. I would hope not Nick York. It was a good chance. I actually forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing that, Pac-Man. I don't know if I'm doing that. Pay for gas on my way home. Appreciate the offer, Mike, but that's a long drive. Yeah, Luis Guerrero is one I'm very excited about. Very excited about. He's going to be good in the bullpen. I don't know if he'll be an immediate impact guy, though. Whoa, oh my God. I was kidding, Pac-Man. I was kidding. Yeah, I agree, Chance. Yeah, I think I think Guerrero could be a really great addition to the pen. I just don't know where he fits in. To be honest with you, I don't know. I think Kelly, I think, has a good spot as sort of the bridge between your pitcher and your setup man, right? And you sort of get. Oh yeah, Daniel, that would be a bit of a hike. Guerrero's setup, yeah, I could see that. I could see him coming up towards the end of 2024, and then either, yeah, I think I would rather have Guerrero maybe come up towards the end of 2024, or maybe start the year with the Red Sox and work his way into a setup role, so that. Once Chris Martin's up, you could sort of just flop him. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind that at all. And then I love Kelly, man. Zach Kelly follows me on Twitter, by the way. But yeah, Zach Kelly is the man. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine Pac-Man. I do want to go to the DR at some point. I'd love to get down there. I love the culture. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy what he's dealt with. I really hope he has a successful career, man. Even if it's a couple years. Have I DM? Yeah, I actually did DM with Kelly a little bit. Asked him how he was doing on his rehab. And we were talking for a little bit. Talked about what he's doing, if he's watching the Red Sox, all that stuff. You go twice every year? A lot of people in here from the DR, huh? Maybe we'll do a Red Sea radio tour of the Dominican Republic. Maybe I'll ask Rafi to give me a house tour. This is MTV. This is MTV. RSR. Welcome to my crib. Dude, Rafi's crib is probably crazy. You hear the story? I told you guys the story about all the goats and stuff. Yeah, it is the land of baseball, man. I'd love to get down there. I just don't know where to go. It's kind of like if someone came to New England and just sort of moseyed around. You know what I mean? You're from there too? Man, maybe we'll do a Red Seat Radio meetup in the DR. I'm in. I'd love to get down there. There is a lot of history at the Oakland Coliseum, but I'm not going. That's a 450 slug at Perth. Yeah, I'd love to watch baseball down there because I think it'd be incredible. I am nervous about the language barrier though. Like I feel like I keep trying to learn Spanish and then I just mess it up. Duolingo to me feels like I'm not learning Spanish. Like it feels like I'm learning phrases, but I can't speak it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what the best way to learn Spanish is. I would love to learn it, but I just don't know what it is. Like that was one of my goals for this off season because I'm gonna have a ton of time. So I was thinking I want to learn Spanish, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe I could. Full immersion's the best way. Well, I can't do that over the off season, so we're gonna have to do something else. I think he does Goblin. Yeah, Day Spanish Girl. That's out of the equation too. Um, I think we see Arroyo the big league again. Yeah. I can't do that. Happily in a relationship, cannot do that. Yeah, that's the other problem too, right? It's like the Spanish I'm learning on Duolingo is like literal Spain Spanish, which is different. It's similar, right? But it's not the same. I'm sorry to hear that, Dennis. I hope you feel better, man. Thanks for coming by. Right? Yeah. My fear with the DR too is that I'll just get like completely taken advantage of because I'm an idiot. No, definitely out of the question. Come best friends with Devers, perfect, dude. That's it right there. I'll just become best friends with Devers. It's super easy. I don't know how I didn't think of that about that before. Yeah, I need to figure it out. There's gotta be like a good like what's up, Dragon? There's gotta be a good like there's gotta be like a good thing that'll help me. Right, that's what I'm saying, Pac Man, is like, you know, Mexican Spanish is obviously different than, you know, Puerto Rican Spanish and Dominican Republic Spanish and Spain Spanish, right? It's just different. Spanish soaps with subtitles, but here's the problem with me. I can't pay attention. I just can't pay attention. Like I would need to pay attention so far. Need to do something to Cora? No, they don't. Mm. There's a service I think that you like buy and then link with a Netflix account, and um it teaches you based on Netflix shows. 90% the same. Interesting. I was always told it's different where like you pick up on what they're saying, but there are certain words that have different tonalities and stuff. I don't know. What are the biggest changes the Sox need to make next year? They need to get pitching. You need to get pitching, right? And I'm not talking a couple more to win more games. Yeah, that'd be helpful too. I'm not talking a couple more back end guys, a couple more innings eaters. You need to go out and you need to get a frontline, at least one frontline starting pitcher, right? You can't go into 2024 with a very similar rotation you have this year because not it's just not sustainable, and we're seeing it this year, right? So I think what the Red Sox, my wish list for the Red Sox is to go into the offseason. There's a bunch of really good top line starting pitchers on the free agent market. Get one of those guys and then trade for a young, controllable 2-3 type starter, right? Where Brian Bayo is a great pitcher and he could be very well be a frontline starting pitcher next year, but I don't want him to have to be. So I'd rather, if you're going into 2024 with Bayo as your number 3 pitcher, you did what I wanted you to do this offseason. I think you're being a much better place. Outside of pitching, I think they're close, man. I would go Turner. I think you would get Turner on figure out your DH, right? Whether that's Turner, whether that's Duvall. Figure out your DH, and then outside of that, obviously, yeah, defense needs to get better. Because even if you have the best pitchers in the world, right, it doesn't matter if you can't field a ground ball. Yeah, so that's me. That's what I think the Red Sox need to do going into 2024. And I think if they do that, I think they're legit competitors. Base running needs to improve. There have been a couple of bad defense base running plays this year, but overall, I think they've been a fairly decent base running team. And that might be a hot take, but I think there have been some real ones that stick out. But I don't think overall they've been a terrible defensive team. They have been, but no, base running team. No more washed up and old guys. What were your washed up and old guys, right? Corey Kluber didn't work out. Justin Turner's your second best hitter. Adam Duvall is probably your third best hitter. I would rather have Turner at DH. Devers really can't be our DH. You can't put him there. I understand you guys upset with his defense, but you didn't pay Devers to be a defensive wizard, right? You just need him to be a bit better. He doesn't need to be league average at defense. If he's even slightly below league average like he was in 2022, nice catch, Massa. As he's saying, he's just a DH. I don't think Massa's just a DH now. But Devers just needs to be better, right? And I don't think you could put your $30 million player at DH just because you're angry about one season. Massa been historically bad defensively? No, Massa hasn't been historically bad defensively, no. Devers, no, the Red Sox as a whole has been historically bad defensively. But I don't think Devers individual. Let me see. Yeah, Devers is 45th or 41st in the entire league in outs above average at third base. He's not even the worst defensive third baseman on this list. Let me see if I can go by position. Oh, yeah, I can. Here, let me take a look. Minimum, we'll do minimum 100 innings. Yeah, Devers is the sixth worst in baseball right now. He's not even the worst in the league. So I don't know, man. It's tough to just sit here and say he needs to go. Devers, I don't care if he's that bad defensively, right? If he hits the way he's hitting, it's not the end of the world. It's the problem is, right? It's everyone on this team has been bad defensively. Last year, it wasn't a problem because everyone else was fairly decent defensively. This year, right? Because they're historically bad, it highlights it more. You know, some of our best players in our history haven't been good defensive players, and I'm not just saying, and I'm not just saying, like David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez are bad, yeah, but so I mean Ted Williams wasn't a great fielder, Jimmy Fox wasn't a great fielder. It doesn't help that everyone's been bad this year, right? Because it doesn't matter. It's not the loot, Fester. It's not the contract. I hate when people immediately think it's a contract. The Giants. Devers is quite literally at his age better in every Red Sox statistic, right? Man, come on, guy. Manny wasn't a good defensive outfielder. Manny was one of the greatest hitters of all time in terms of right-handed hitting. But like Rafi, like it's just. Like, in my opinion, Devers being a problem on his own is perfectly fine when the rest of your defense is fine, right? When the rest of your defense is doing good. It's when it's doing bad is when it's a big problem, right? And again, I think Rafi comes in next year and he's better. I think a lot of what's going on this year is he's in his head big time. Because I also think a lot of it too is, he got paid $30 million this offseason, and Rafi prides himself on being that guy on this team, right? He prides himself in that, and that's why the Red Sox gave him that money, is because he is a guy that's worth investing in. And so I think when this team isn't doing well, Rafi puts that all on his shoulders, and it shouldn't be, right? And that needs to be something he works on. But this is the first year of a big contract, and I think that's what he's doing. And I think every time he has an error, he feels worse and worse about it, and it's just overall kind of spiraling here. And he just needs to get better at not doing that. And then I think coming into 2024, he looks a lot different. He looks a lot different. You know what I mean? Especially with Story with him. If you notice, Devers looks a lot better at third base when Story's at shortstop. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm kind of saying here, is that Devers is that guy, and he takes pride in that. The Red Sox invested in him, and he knows that. And so I think going into 2024, like I talked about already, right? I think this year's a bit of an outlier, and I think there's a bunch of different reasons why. And I think part of that is because of Devers in his head. I think he'll be better next year. I don't think he'll be fantastic, but I think he'll be better, and that's all I care about, right? If he could be like below league average and not really bad, then we've got a pretty decent defensive infield. Oh, he definitely can. Oh, come on, dude. Unbelievable. Snell, Bayo, Yamamoto, Houck, Crawford. I don't think they get Snell and Yamamoto. In my opinion, it would either be Yamamoto or Snell. And then I think they go after a young, controllable pitcher, man. Break down that infield, next year? Next year, infield, Alex? What Casas has done defensively this year has not been impressive. That's not something I'm going to argue with, but what I am going to argue with, dude, Cedon is just insane. Just ridiculous. He's just ridiculous. But here's why I'm saying we're not going to have a bad defensive infield, right? Because Casas is pretty good picking it, right? Most of his issues have either come from a throwing error or it's come from a missed ground ball, right? My thing with Casas is he was always a good defensive player in the minor leagues. When he got up to the major leagues, he had issues. And I think part of that, a big reason for that is sort of similar to Devers, where you just get in your head a little bit, right? But with Costas, it's a different type of getting in your head. When you got off to the start he got off to, right, this year, your focus is all on hitting. Specifically when you're a rookie and you're like, this is either sink or swim right now, right? And I think, you start to lose focus of your defense because you're like, we need to get better offensively. Let's just, instead of doing defensive drills every day, let's do offensive drills every day, right? So I think that sort of contributed to Costas' down year defensively. He's been much better recently, if you've noticed. Much better recently, if you notice. He also looks a lot better. That sucks, Rusties. I also think Costas looks a lot better now over these last couple of months. Yeah, that was definitely a swing. Why wouldn't they be able to get both? Because they don't want to lock themselves into two massive pitching contracts. In my opinion, that'd be kind of dumb. So that's why I think they'll go one big free agent contract and one pretty big trade. And here's my list right now for possible trade targets. What's up, Drew? Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Here's my list of Red Sox trade targets this offseason in terms of I'm going to make videos on each of these guys. But Mitch Keller right now is my number one. Has been my number one for a little bit now. I think Mitch Keller wouldn't be as expensive as some of the other guys on this list. And I think he has a lot of potential. And that's a guy who could come in and be a number 3, right? If you get Yamamoto or Snell, and then you got Bayo. Hey, Drew, thank you so much for the $10 donation. We get some claps in the chat for Drew. No message attached to that, but his very first donation to this channel. Thank you so much, Drew. I truly appreciate that. It means a whole lot to me. Thank you so much, my friend. Can we get some claps in the chat for Drew, please? But either way, right, I think when you're looking at it, Keller's a guy I have up there big time. Burns is an interesting conversation. Edward Cabrera is another guy who I would love to get. Dylan Cease and Brady Singer are sort of the 5 on my list right now. But there's a bunch, there's a lot of options out there, and I think that's sort of how they go about it. Because yes, it's just money, but also the Red Sox have been locked. Like Chris Sale's contract bogged them down from possibly $5 from Prodigy. Thank you so much, Prodigy. This is also the first time Prodigy super chatted. Thank you so much, Prodigy, or super sticker. My apologies. No message attached, just a sticker of, I don't know what that is. A lemon kissing a grape? Am I sponsored by Franklin? No. Can we get some claps in the chat for Prodigy, please? Thank you so much, Prodigy. You are the man. Yeah, if the Red Sox win, we'll take Drew out for a steak dinner. Could be. Could also bury the Yankees, and that's the way I like to look at it, Firefly. It is, Daniel. I understand what you're saying. I don't know. But also, I think the fact that a lot of the free agent hitters are so thin, it kind of lends itself a little bit to us trying to trade for a pitcher. Because if you're looking for a bat and you can't get one, well, might as well, maybe we could try and get a young, controllable bat. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll see what Yamamoto works out, but man, Yamamoto would be incredible. Thank you so much, Drew. I appreciate it. Not stopping anytime soon, hopefully. Thank God the Red Sox got it out there. Whew. All right, so I think Marcus Stroman's got a player option. I don't know if he takes that, right? Um, Julio Urias is definitely not happening. Like, do you like? In my opinion, Blake Snell. If you're gonna go for any pitcher on the market right now, Blake Snell, right? If you're gonna go with anyone who has MLB experience, Blake Snell for me is the big one. Um, and then Jordan Montgomery feels like someone the Red Sox could go after. Michael Lorenzen feels like someone the Red Sox might go after. Jack Flaherty, maybe, right? Like, I think that's what kind of how it goes. They go after one big pitcher, and then they go after a different one. They go after a bit of a different pitcher, right? More of a back end 4, and then hopefully you trade for a 2. Ross Stripling, that might be, maybe that's an option. I mean, there are a ton of different options in terms of trades, man. I think that's where we're gonna see I think we'll see a big. I'm hoping we'll see a big starting pitcher move on the free agent market, but I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a big trade as well. I hope we see both, right? What type of contract do I see Snell getting? Oof, probably like $26 million a year. Maybe you do like a 5-year deal. I think you'll have to overpay a little bit. Kershaw's not going anywhere. He's going to retire a Dodger, and he should. What was the biggest trade from last offseason? There weren't really a lot. Sean Murphy, right? Sean Murphy. No, it's not going to be the best free agent year, but it is going to be a great year for the Red Sox specifically because it's all tailored towards starting pitching. Yeah, that's what he said. What was the best trade? Where'd it go? Yeah, biggest trade, yeah. What pitchers are staying? Bayo, Hout, Crawford, maybe Pavetta. Sale will probably be here. Yeah, it needs to be one of those 3, Daniel. And in my opinion, Yamamoto and Snell are way above Nola, just for me. With our luck and everything that's happened with the Red Sox, one thing, Garrett Cole would never come to the Red Sox, ever. Not sure Houck stays. No, if they're not gonna get rid of Houck, I don't think. Yeah, Paxton and Kluber are definitely gone. They're not. I don't think that. I thought maybe they'd extend Paxton. I don't think. I don't think it's worth it anymore. I think they need to go bigger. Yeah, there's a lot of Japanese relievers. Yeah. Still have a good pitching rotation. Yeah. Yeah, I think you want Fujinami. Is that the one on the Orioles right now? Imagine Kluber comes back and is like the best month of his career. That'd be so funny. Yeah, Kluber was a huge bummer. Huge bummer. Yeah, Fujinami would be interesting. I wonder if the Orioles will get rid of him after this season. I don't know. Yeah, it did, Alex, and it really sucks because like it was going so well for Paxton. He was setting himself up so well. He's only on a 1 year. No way, right? Yeah, this season would have been much different if Kluber was even relatively decent. That's definitely not how you spell it. Oh, it came up anyway. Let me see. Yeah, he's only free agent this year. Interesting. Yeah, he has not been good this year. He's almost a -2 WAR. That's pretty crazy. All right, chat. Let's see if there's any magic left in this here old hat. In this here hat. Let's see if there's any magic left in this hat. Yeah, I didn't either, Danielle. I thought it was actually a pretty decent signing at the time. I don't think Verlander comes to the Red Sox. No, I don't. Does he? I think he has an opt out too, which I don't think he'll take. I think he's happy in. I think he's happy in Houston. Let me see here. He's not even a free agent. Oh, and he already vested his player option, so he's not even a free agent until 2026. And by then, he'll be 43 years old. So probably not with Verlander. My least favorite commercial, any political commercial, man. I hate them. Give me 2 runs. Give me 2 runs in this old hat, huh? Braves Dynasty incoming? I think so, yeah. Josiah Gray's another good one to put on your list. Yeah. There's a bunch. There's a lot of options for the Red Sox. They need to do something. They can't do nothing. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, right? Because realistically, you got to do something about the pitching this offseason. You can't go into another year where you have like this year had a high ceiling but a low floor, and we've seen what the low floor looks like. And we really only saw the high ceiling for a little bit. So what we need is a super high ceiling and a really high floor. I don't know why you're saying Duvall was the worst. He's coming out like he's had like 3 or 4 games this week. Wonder when the Dodgers will win a World Series in a normal season. They'll get there eventually. They're too good not to. Must be frustrating for fans. Real fans of the Dodgers. Kind of like San Diego. Yeah, San Diego's a different story. Ah, man. Yeah, but that's what Duvall does. That's what Duvall does. He strikes out a lot and he hits a lot of home runs. That's who he's always been. Because that pitch is disgusting. I mean, you're facing the Rays' 2 best pitchers today. Drew Rasmussen isn't here. So Glasnow and Fairbanks are the 2 best pitchers. Fairbanks is low-key one of the best... low-key one of the best closers in baseball. Yeah, that's what he does, Chance. I don't know why you're upset with it. It's literally what he does. And that's only 3 games. I don't hate Reese McGuire. I have no problem with Reese McGuire. I think he's a good backup catcher. I just like Wong better. Do I watch the Patriots? I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't like follow them. Does that make sense? Wong is just better defensively. He's got the higher ceiling offensively. Oh, come on. Yeah, Fairbanks scares me, man. He's one of the best closers in baseball and has been for a little bit. And no one talks about anyone on the Rays, and it's just because they're all just like lifeless. Randy Rosaraine's the only one with personality. Let's go. Casas keeps his hit streak alive. Let's go. In the 9th inning. Yeah, and that guy shall not be named. That would have been awesome if Casas took him deep. Is that 10 games for Casas? Sorry, Chad. I'm trying to see if that was 10 games for Casas. 13 games for Casas. Oh no. Jackie Bradley Jr., yeah. Yeah, he is yeah. Rays are the Spurs of baseball. That's a really good comparison. Although the Rays never really get rings. Duvall didn't even take the bat off his shoulder. Yikes. That was a rough bat. That was a rough at bat. Come on now. Got to be better than that, Duvall. It's up to Massa. Don't love that. Yeah, I mean, they're just not a marketable team, I don't think. Genuinely. I just don't think they're a very marketable team. What are these Astro fans doing here? Man, Massa's almost down to 290 for the first time in a very long time. I mean, chat, I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. I'm just sitting here, right? We played a good defensive game today, except for that one Pavetta thing. I don't know. The Glasnow absolutely crushed them. Not much we can do. Not much we can do, right? I just like hanging out with you guys. The fact that a lot of you guys were here, we were live for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Fast game. The fact that a lot of you guys stayed here the entire time, talked with me. A shout out to all the donations today. I truly appreciate all of you for that. Let me thank all of you. Mike twice, 3 times. Rusty's for becoming a member. Anthony, as always. Drew, Prodigy, all you guys, and everyone who just hung out. Everyone who just hung out and talked. Incredible, man. I really, really, really appreciate all you guys. I think my goal now is just stay out of 5th place, please. Stay out of 5th place, finish with a winning record, and play entertaining baseball, and that's where we're at, right? And, I think that's where I'm at. I don't know about you guys, but that game was relatively enjoyable, and it was a lot of because of you guys. We only got a couple of these left, so I'm enjoying every single one of these until we get into 2024. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate every single one. If you haven't yet and you're thinking about it, hit that subscribe button. We talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton. and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you all in the Red